Hey everyone, I hope everyone is having a good day. I just wanted to do this quick update video on Heather Kelley's case. I just posted a video about her last night, and I wasn't planning on doing this video, so it's a little out of order of the content that I was planning on putting out, but I don't want this to fly out of my head before I remember to tell you guys about it. Please remember, as always, you guys, that these videos are just my opinions. These are not facts. These are my interpretations and opinions of the things that I hear, see, and feel. Okay, so I am not saying that anything that I'm about to say is factual, that I'm 100% positive, or anything like that. Okay, and also I very much understand that these cases are people's lives, that these are things that are actually affecting people very deeply in the real world. And nothing that I say is meant to demean or trivialize or anything of that nature in regards to these cases, okay? So having said that, I have been trying really hard to get something to come through for me on Heather's case, and honestly, maybe I've been trying a little bit too hard, so maybe I need to back off on it a little bit. But what I did want to tell you guys about was that I did have a dream. And what surprised me most about this dream was that when I went and tried to look up the area that I saw in the dream, I was able to find it on Google Maps. So it was a relatively short dream, and it is in regards to an area where I think that Heather could possibly be. Now, once again, it was just a dream. These are just my opinions and interpretations. I do have to say at this point, though, based on what I'm feeling and some information that I saw in the comments from some of Heather's family, I do feel at this point that Heather is no longer with us. I do think that she has passed. I don't like to say that. I'm sorry to say that, but I think that some of her family members are probably already feeling that as well. Anyway, in the short dream that I had, basically I was standing on the side of the road, on the side of a fairly busy road, with a police officer, and there was a guardrail there, and the officer's car, I believe I must have ridden out there with him in this dream, so his car was parked a little ways up from the guardrail, and then him and I walked together a few feet back. I can see like a little sign poking up out of the trees, the foliage, I guess you could say. It looks like a small business sign, maybe. The officer is wearing a brown uniform. I think he might be county. I'm not certain about that though. Anyway, he steps over the guardrail and then he asks me, is this the area? And then I say yes, and I step over the guardrail also. And I'm kind of pointing down the hill to him, letting him know that I believe that it's down this hill, and that there's water nearby, but I don't believe that Heather is in the water. I believe that she's just down this hill, maybe near the water. So then in the dream, the officer goes and he walks down the little hill, and he walks kind of around it's not really a corner. I mean, we're in the outside, so there's not really any corners, but he just kind of walks around these trees and things of that nature, and until I can't see him. And then he's gone for a really long time. So eventually I just say, like, "Sir, are you okay?" And just as I'm saying that, just a few seconds after I say that, I see him come walking back around, and he starts back up the hill, and he says, "Yep, I think we've got something." At that point, he grabs his little radio that they wear on their shoulder, and he starts calling for backup, I guess. I'm not sure what you would call it. But it doesn't, the dream kind of carries out a little bit from there, but there's not a lot more. It's just the next thing that I see is there's just emergency vehicles, parked along the road in that area. Like I said, very short dream, not a lot of information, but the reason that I wanted to show this to you guys and tell you guys this is because, like I said, when I went out and looked on Google Maps, I found the area that I think looks exactly like what I saw in my dream, and that's the part that kind of tripped me out a little bit. So I was finally able to get a screen record to work properly, and so I want to show you guys this here really quickly. Okay, so this is the intersection where Heather's truck was found, right? East Michigan Avenue and North Sprinkle Road. And we looked at that in my other video, so just bear with me a second here while I show you guys. I just kind of want to show you where I went. I just felt like I should go north, and I just scrolled up a little bit here, and then I got to this area where I just really felt like I should look here in this area. So I went down to Street View, and I was surprised to see how much this looks like what I saw in my dream. Here's the little sign that I was talking about. If you go down this way just a little bit further, this looks more like the actual spot that I was seeing in my dream. So I saw this tree, and here's the guardrail, obviously. I saw all of this foliage. Everything looked just like it looks here. Down here is where the officer's car would have been parked. And we walked this way. And then he stepped over the guardrail. And then I stepped over the guardrail like about here. And he actually started on down the hill here on his own while I stood up by the guardrail. Now, I know there's a little fence or something right here, but he kind of went down this way, so I don't think there's really anything over there. And he walked down around until I couldn't see him anymore. So basically down in this area here, like behind all of this. So I'm talking about, you know, Heather potentially being down in this area somewhere here. Now, the officer came walking back up the hill, you know, after I said, "Hey, how are you? Are you okay?" He came walking back up, and then we stood here and we talked for a little while. And this would be about at the point where he would have been calling for backup, or, you know, whatever you want to call it when they tell someone that they've found a crime scene or something of that nature. Anyway, so just to give you a little bit more view of the area that I'm talking about here, this is the other side of the street. See, there's a guardrail here, but I don't think that that's really what I was seeing in my dream. I really feel like this area here just looks very, very much like what I was seeing. And now, obviously, this was taken, you know, back in, well, it says November of 2016. This was taken when there's no snow on the ground. It's still fall-like conditions and things like that. So it is going to look different right at this moment, of course. This basically, just to give you an overview again, an overhead shot, this is the area that I'm talking about. This is the side of the road that I'm talking about seeing in my dream. So there's this little business here, Kalamazoo Custom Kitchens and Baths. It's near that area. So anyway, if you come on down here back to the intersection where Heather's truck was found, I'm sorry, I had a little bit of a glitch, but I was trying to say, if you come back down to where her truck was found and you map it from that intersection down there, East Michigan Avenue and North Sprinkle Road, you can see that up to 5070 North Sprinkle Road, which is just the closest business, it's less than a mile. I don't know that that means anything. I don't know that it's terribly significant, but just to show you guys one more time, you know, this is where I'm talking about, basically right here. And once again, you guys, I am not saying that I am 100% positive that there's anything there. I'm just saying that this is what I saw in my dream, and that I feel like that area looks very much like what I was seeing in my dream. So I don't know. We'll see what comes of it. I'm not sure that I want to report this to law enforcement. I think that, you know, maybe I might find a way to submit a tip just to say, could someone please check in that area? I don't ever want to send anybody on a wild goose chase or waste any law enforcement's time or anything like that. And I'm not saying that I don't believe in my dreams or my visions. I'm just saying that, you know, like we've talked about a million times, I'm definitely not always right. You know, I'm like 50% right at this point, I would say. You know, like about half of the things that I see and feel come through to fruition. I do feel very strongly about it, and I do want to give law enforcement this information. But it's just, it's just because of the stigma. What exactly do you say? Do you say, I had a vision, or I had a dream? I don't know how seriously law enforcement really takes that stuff. And I have reported things to law enforcement before a couple of times already, but I'm just not certain the effect that they actually had on anything. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments, okay? Do you think I should give a tip, at least just give a tip to law enforcement? Also, if anyone in Heather's family is listening, please give me your comments. I really want to know what you think about this potential area. Obviously, you guys live there and you know a lot more about this area than I do. That's the other thing I just want to mention really quickly. This doesn't have anything to do with anything but just personal stuff, basically. But I live in Northern Illinois. So usually these cases are pretty far from where I'm at, but this one is not that far. It's only about 3.5 hours from where I live. And I am not saying that I can go there and that I can verify anything about this area. Even though it's a short trip, I don't think that I would really be able to do that. But that's what's making it even more frustrating for me, is that I don't really feel like I can just go there. But who knows? Who knows? You can't ever, everything happens. You can never imagine what strange things might come about, or what crazy things might play out. So, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'm starting to babble a little bit, and I apologize. I just wanted to give you guys this quick update, and everybody please just keep your thoughts and your wishes, your well wishes and everything with Heather's family, okay? Let's not let her case go cold. And like I said, I know it's not getting a crazy amount of attention, but it's drawing a fair amount of attention at this point. So hopefully we will be able to get some resolution for Heather's family. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. As always, thank you so very much for listening. I'm trying to get more than one video out per night, but it's not really been working out that way so far. So just stick with me, guys. I've got plenty of content coming. I appreciate everyone oh so much. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.